Welcome back to Legacy of Kain Defiance. We are continuing our leisurely stroll through Vorador's mansion in order to get spears, impale gargoyles, turn on portals, jump into portals, jump out of portals, and stroll through the Vorador's mansion again. This is going to be irritating. Now, full disclosure, in this particular update, there will be absolutely nothing of importance happening. Literally the only interesting thing that will happen is us getting the second spear, the blood drinker, and well, nothing else. Nothing more. That's it. So unless you are using this as a walkthrough to find all the collectibles, because we will be backtracking here for some of them, and none of them obvious ones. Unless you're using it for that, you might as well click X now. Also, yes, awesome camera work. Actually, no. About a minute from now, we will see our penultimate goal for this chapter, which is something Raziel will comment on. And after that, you will be able to click X. Also, this is probably the worst angle in the game to fight Archons at. There's absolutely no way here to figure out where you are relative to these things. By the way, the fact that you have to go here is also something that isn't really obvious from the get-go.
This mysterious chamber was clearly significant. Perhaps I would finally find the elusive Vorador within.
So, basically everything that we are doing in this mansion, in this chapter, is just in order to get in there. And what is Vorador doing there? There he is actually... he has already met Kain, the younger Kain. And now he is waiting for the Mobius's mob to get his hands on him. If you remember Blood Omen 1, in the end they do get his hands on him, execute him, and, well, Mobius gets a trophy in a head. And this is what Vorador sees himself like, apparently. How adorable.
The braziers were all lit, but still the door remained sealed. Perhaps I had ignited too many.
How irrational, Raziel. Why are you jumping to conclusions that quickly? Based on what did you decide that maybe you have ignited too many? And how on earth are you going to figure out which ones you want to unignite? And by unignite, I mean douse. This is a well. Why does Vorador need well? There will be no question. There will be no answers. Okay, now this is an irritating part, because, well, you have to kill everything. And now we can do some platforming, because you can run past enemies, but you cannot really jump past enemies or platform past them, because these goddamn revenants, they are capable of shooting you out of the air. So yes, that is aggravating. But for Christ's sake... Okay. We're almost done. And this is the first collectible in the level. 30 minutes into the level, god damn it. Some kind of dining room. And this painting has some... well, it looks kind of similar in architecture to the Air Forge from Soul River 2. I think. Or maybe it's the Lost City. It's kind of similar in architecture to that as well. Because both are kind of Mesoamerican-y. Okay, Imperial rending, that is good. I also failed to execute it.
Imperial rending.
And Raziel's TK blast does not go through fire. Good to know. Okay, now we are entering one of the worst jumping sections in the game, and it's literally just 2 jumps, but holy shit. Thing is, there are 2 platforms here that you jump on, and it's almost impossible to jump onto the second one. But you don't need to jump onto the second one. So don't jump further, just jump here immediately, like I did right now. Because believe me, as a kid, I kept trying to jump onto that further, the second platform, and it is abhorrent, because that 1 jump in 10 maybe you will succeed. It's almost impossible. Okay, more revenants. I've been looking forward to that. Not. So, how's your day been? I have exposed my girlfriend today to a masterpiece by Barnes & Barnes, Fish Heads. To be honest, I'm amazed that there are people on the internet who had never heard of it. And I really like the way charged up Material Reaver looks. I really like these effects. That was a matter of principle. That was a matter of principle. Ah! Okay, now one interesting thing here is that you see these beddings in these corridors, in these rooms, but you never really see the brides of Vorador, that they are, well, they are the ones who I assume you were using them. And you are left to wonder, we are left to wonder, is it because of Kain, the younger Kain, meeting Vorador, or is it because Vorador is waiting for the mercenary army, or is it a result of the timeline alterations caused by Raziel's actions and by Kain removing the blade from Raziel's chest? We don't know, we don't know. We will never know. So this is the second room with the second spear. It's the Blood Drinker room, and actually I looked at the Legacy of Kain wiki before recording this commentary, and I realized that these rooms, they are not actually, well, simple rooms, they are libraries. And I'm not sure why it never occurred to me, seeing as there are books literally everywhere here. Well, not books, but bookshelves. How could I be so blind to something as obvious as this? Yes, this is a mural and this will be a cracked wall. Later. Much later. Sadly, as I said, in the last update, there is no Dark River here to be used, there is no river here to be used, so instead we have this unholy fusion, once again, of block puzzles and switch puzzles and more block puzzles. Everything bad you have been now united in you. Every sin that you commit one day will come back to you. That was necessary. Shut up. Okay, now, once I turn this dark orb of darkness and death on light, yeah, on light, take a closer look at this curtain. Raziel went right through this curtain on the way out. But in a little bit I will try to get in through the curtain. Okay, didn't work. Okay, I was jumping diagonally, maybe it's just me being bad. Nope. Nope. It is the first one-way curtain in the history of forever. In the history of video games. Are there more one-way curtains anywhere? I can't remember any. I don't want to remember any. Because the sheer stupidity of the concept of a one-way curtain just boggles my mind, and I have a hard time wrapping my mind around this idea. I had no way out of that sentence. And with this, we're finally done with the switches. And after we get the blood drinker, we will do some backtracking. Extensive and fascinating backtracking. You know what was dumb? I never took a closer look at the statue that the pillar was. That we used to, well, press the button.
Blood drinker.
The one in the center. This one. I really should have. But I am not replaying Vorador's mansion to do it. Maybe we'll see it next time we're here. Oh, by the way, spoiler, yes. There is going to be another whole chapter spent in Vorador's mansion, although it will be different. Problem is, I don't remember whether that pillar will remain in place or not. We'll see. It's funny how the game had already like 3 opportunities to throw these statues at us, but it never did. Why would that be? Okay, more revenants. This time I'm not stopping by to fight them. I've had enough by this point. Also, this. Holy hell. And wow, there are now 3 of them. How threatening. How riveting. Such suspense. Because this serves some purpose other than to just slow you down. Such challenge. Such difficulty. You know what's the most interesting thing here? This door into the pool room. It goes underneath the telekinetic switch that was used in the beginning of the chapter to open this door originally. How does this work? I do not know. It just goes up, goes through the switch, or underneath the switch, between the switch and the wall. So what is it? Does the switch just float in air? I have no idea. Yeah, how does that work? Why? What? The switch is still there. How does that happen? This should not happen. Ever. At all. But now we can finally impale a gargoyle. Okay, now let's back. Actually, I just realized every time I was talking about impaling or penetrating the gargoyles, it sounded very much like a double entendre. But I assure you, it was not. None of them were double entendres, because I am beyond that. I am an elitist fuck, so I consider myself well above this kind of crude, immature humor.
These murals were attuned somehow to those in the fountain room, for this wall too had shattered.
Yeah, basically now that we have used both the Soul Stealer and the the Heart Seeker and the Blood Drinker in order to penetrate their respective gargoyles, all these walls with murals in the mansion, they are now cracked and thus breakable, thus revealing anything that was hidden behind them. This is progress. But there will be no progress in this update. We will be going there in the next one. Right now we are doing backtracking for collectibles, because collectibles are more important than story. What? Why would you think otherwise? And with this we have nice and new and shiny health coil of health. I'm still amazed at how I have managed to find that way out of that sentence so badly a few updates ago. But yeah, now we are continuing our stroll to the Heart Seeker room, because the next arcane tome is there. Yes, the next 4 minutes of this update are just me getting an arcane tome. If you really want to, you are free to see through all of this. I'm not even sure what I'm going to be able to say, because there is nothing to say. We've already seen all of this in the last update. And this is why Vorador's mansion is such a... it's a badly designed level as a level. Really badly. You should not ever make the player backtrack through the entire freaking level multiple times. Or even once, actually. Backtracking isn't good at all in general, unless it's really interesting. Which it's not, because nothing is changing apart from a couple of walls being cracked. It's not technically mandatory to backtrack here right now, but here's the thing, I said that I would do it in the most inefficient way imaginable. This is that painting, this is that arcane tome. In the most inefficient way imaginable, because if you were to simply look at a guide which would tell you where this arcane tome is, it would tell you that it's in the Heart Seeker room once you have penetrated the gargoyles with the spears. That's what it would tell you. And you wouldn't know that you will come here in the very end. Or is it the other room? No, basically, there will be a better opportunity later to get there, but you do not know that if you are just playing through this without knowing the entire level inside out and the entire sequence of actions and backtracks by heart. It's really aggravating. It's not something that the developers of any game should ever do. This is not how you design levels. This is not how you allow the player to 100% the level. And this is not where you put your fucking health upgrades. Gah, I'm annoyed. Damn it. Gah. Yeah, this orb is now red and cracked. And this is another health talisman. I always miss these when I play by myself because I just can't bring myself to backtrack through this place multiple times. And this is what I said, this is what I was meaning when I said in the OP of the thread that I would collect everything sometimes against my better judgment. This part is the part that is referring to against my better judgment. And oh, these statues are back, sick. Why are they back? I don't think we're gonna fight them again. I think it's just a glitch. But with this, we are finally done with the backtracking for now. So, in the next episode, we will be going for the third spear. And in order to get that, we will do more backtracking.